Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to VANIK IAS. Today we'll discuss computer of science and technology. Right. This year they have changed the pattern. They are asking 10 marks question and they are asking questions from computer every year. So you cannot ignore computer part. So we'll start. Right. So what is computer? You should write the exact definition. Right. Computer is a programmable machine. What do you mean by programmable machine? That means if you have given a direction that in in this situation you have to do this, you have already given a direction to it and it will work according to it. For example, suppose you have given the input that 2 plus 2 will be always equal to 4, or suppose you are talking about a customer care, uh, suppose you are ordering something from Swiggy and you are asking that I have some queries. There will be some options like whether the food is delayed, you want to cancel the food or something like that. So when you say that I have some queries, it is automatically, it is programmed, it will give you some options, whether your food is delayed, or you want to customize your food, or you want from further assistance, or it's regarding the payment, anything. It is programmed. If somebody is asking fast of the things, you have to show this, right? Again again suppose you are choosing one option that my there is an issue of uh, food delay, right? Then again what will happen, you click on that, so the computer knows that the person is have queries or have some problems, that is delay regarding the food. Then automatically it has some programmed word. It will say that, dear customer, please wait, we are contacting the restaurant and very soon we will deliver it. The same message will be given to everybody. These things are programmed, it is fixed. So anybody anybody who ask or click on such options, they will get the same result, right? Because that is programmed in the whole computer or software. Okay, so it's a programmable machine. The two main characteristics of computer, right? It responds to a specific set of instruction in a well-defined manner, right? It will take the information also in well-defined manner. For example, as it has said, as I have said that first it will ask what is your queries. Then you said that out of many options you chooses that food is delayed. So it's taking the response, it's taking the instruction in a defined manner, right? It's not taking arbitrarily. Next, it can execute a pre-recorded list of instructions that we call as program. Pre-recorded list of instructions. If somebody is talking about, the computer is programmed that if somebody is talking about delay in food, then just write that we are sorry for the delay, please have the patience, we are contacting the customer care, and it will direct the computer to call the restaurant that a particular customer is getting delayed, please deliver the food as soon as possible. It will work in the same manner, it will not work arbitrarily, right? Next, you will see that suppose there is some query and you will write in your language. Suppose that they are asking English language and you are writing, suppose you will write something in Odia language or something like that, then it cannot read it because it is not, this particular set of information is not inputted, it's not inputted in the program. The computer is not told if these situations come, what the computer will do. That's why it will say that please search some another keyword, or we are not able to understand whatever what you say. Please the given options, something like that. Right. or talk to the customer care. So it cannot take all the instruction we give it. It will take only some specific instructions, right? Next, modern computers are electronic and digital. The actual machinery, wires, transistors, circuits are called as hardware. Whatever you see, that is hardware, right? Whatever you cannot see in a computer, that is software. Remember, wires, transistors, circuits, you can see it. If you open the computer, if you open the machine, then you can see it. Then that is the hardware thing. Software is something that you cannot see, right? All general purpose computers require following hardware components. One is CPU. This is the most important. It is called as brain of computer. The computer that actually executes the instructions, right? Who will execute the instruction? It is a CPU, right? It is a CPU who will say that please sir wait, or it is a CPU who will give the direction, call the restaurant for to deliver immediate food. That is the responsibility of the CPU. Second is memory. It enables a computer to store, at least temporarily, data and programs. Store. Yes, we have to store many information. It may be a website, it may be a media, some photos, some videos, or some passwords. Right? There are different types of memory. We will study primary memory, secondary memory, cache memory. Detail we will see. We will study. Right? So there is memory that stores data. Maybe it's a password, or maybe it's some a video or a photo or some particular information or a text. It has to save it, right? For example, suppose if you talk about this PPT, then in this PPT we have given some characters, and in that PPT we have saved it. We have saved the PPT in the first. We saved the PPT in the laptop itself. Then we transfer the data. You can call it as a data. We transfer this PPT to the given computer in which we are working now, and now we are having the access. So we need a, even if you send by mail, right? Even if you send by mail directly, you cannot teach through mail. You have to download it. So that particular data or that particular set of information that get downloaded in the setup, and again the computer got accessed it, and we are able to study. So this is the job of the memory. Next, in mobile now we have there is internal memory, and once upon a time there is also some memory chips we are using memory chips, and we are using also, for example, your that pen drive. When you saving the data in pen drive, there is also hard drive for big size data transfer. They are all parts of memory. We'll discuss the memory part in detail next. So next we'll see there is something called as input device. What do you mean by input device? Usually keyboard, mouse used to read data and programs into the computer. Right? Keyboard. Suppose you will write. Suppose now our touch screen. Touch screen is one of the input data also as well. Before the touch screen, what we are doing? We are using a keyboard to scroll and then click it, or you are using the mouse. You are going to a particular option and right and clicking, we left click it on it, right? By that we give the input means you are giving input to the computer that your food is delayed. That is the input, right? What is the output? Output is that it will say that please sir wait, and another part of output that computer will call the customer restaurant owner that the food is delayed. So input are those part of the computer which are used especially to give some information, initial information to the computer, right? Output device, a display screen. See, a display can be called as input and also can be called as output. because in modern times we are using smartphones, and in smartphones input at the screen also it's the output, right? You click on a particular, I mean, when you click on a particular icon, suppose you are clicking on a Facebook, that is the input, screen becomes input, and immediately Facebook opens, screen becomes the output device. Mass storage device. It allows computer to permanently store a large amount of data. Common mass storage devices include disk drive or tape drive. We have drive in the computer that stores huge amount of data. In addition to these components, many other make it possible for the basic components computer to work together efficiently. There are many parts of the computer, right? We are just here discussing the important part of the computer. So we have discussed what is input devices, we have discussed what is output devices, we have discussed what is memory and CPU, and there is storage device. Next, what are the functions and components of computer in detail we'll study. Now if you first of all, if you see the functions, then at present you can link to governance system, right? Computing purposes everywhere, in every functions now we are using computer. Once upon a time, when during computer was uh, I mean getting applied in India, in case of that is around in 1980s, then there is a speculation that there it will create many unemployment, because the same computer can do many tasks that will replace the human being, right? Here we are linking to economic aspect. But over the time it is learned that no, computer has given so many employment, right? Our whole service sector, and we have a software sector, right? Information and technology, we have a huge people who are working outside in case of in computer technology, and it provides huge employment. We are getting huge amount of remittances because of that, right? So here we have to understand one thing, that even if technological advancement happens, it may create unemployment, it may not create unemployment, right? Similarly, if we consider artificial intelligence as well, we have discussed that in artificial intelligence as well, we don't know whether there will be unemployment or not. It is said that around 9% of people will get unemployed because of artificial intelligence. But many scholars also say that like computer, it will generate many more employment as compared to a traditional computer, right? So unless and until something get implemented, we cannot be sure that whether it will create a huge amount of jobs or it will create unemployment. So if you see functions, then now it is used everywhere. Now studying, we are now studying by computer, right? We are now studying by computer. Everywhere it is used. It is used in calculation. Calculation means it doesn't mean that only you are calculating what is 2 and 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? Calculation means any type of set of information that is structured, we can say also. Structuring of data, structuring of search, or also for example in banking sector, there is application of supercomputer, right? In past day of every month, everybody is getting their respective bank statements because of the calculation, right? Okay, so what are the functions? We can see in every offices, in every government services now they are working with computer and internet, because it has transferred the mode of governance. It has reduced the corruption to a large extent. It has significantly reduced the corruption. It has increased the efficiency. It has increased the accountability, right? You should not study one particular GS by limiting to it, right? You must link to the subject. So it will develop accountability. Means that, suppose for example, now I am giving, just consider, you have to, for example, earlier everything was done in manual mode, right? But now a official has to send a mail in a particular date. It cannot send it in back date. So if you are sending a particular information or data via email to another government official, you cannot lie that I have already sent before 1 month, right? And everything, most of the governance schemes, programs, they are digitized, right? So every moment the data is getting updated. Presently, you can check how many people of India is taking vaccines. At this moment, at this second, how many people got vaccinated? You can check it, right? Because of computerized manner. So it develops our calculation, it develops accountability, it creates a proof, it creates a proof. In manual thing, whether you have sent it or you have not sent it, when you have sent it, there is no, there, it is very difficult to prove. But in case of computerized technology, you do not have that discretion. Everything is got, you just cannot put anything in backdate. So it improves your accountability. The biggest application of computer is banking and e-governance. In banking sector, supercomputer and computer, everything is used significantly. Also, our railway sector. Then we have developed our cloud system. There are many software services also. Everything is now based on computer. We cannot imagine a life without computer as present. So we'll discuss two parts of computer especially, that is hardware. We have seen, or I have already seen, whatever you are watching, that is hardware, and whatever you cannot watch, that is software. Hardware consists of mechanical and electronic devices we can see and touch. Software consists of programs, operating system, and data that reside inside. In the memory, right? Data is stored in memory and storage devices. Computer does mainly the following four functions. One is receive input, that is accept data information from outside through various input devices. Receiving input, that may be keyboard, mouse, scanner, you are scanning a particular piece of paper, or there is pen tab, you are writing on pen tab. Suppose now I am writing on pen tab, it is also a input devices. It is also an input devices. I am giving the input and now it is seen in the screen. So your screen is the output device, but the pen tab is the input device, right? This mouse is of input device, that is receiving input. Suppose you are recording something in your mobile, then that is input, voice recording, that instrument is the input devices, right? Then process information, perform arithmetic or logical operations, perform arithmetic or logical operations on data information. Arithmetic operation or logical operation, what that is related to programming, right? Arithmetic operations means calculations, that can do it. Logical operation, what it can do, what steps to be done, to be taken after what. This is the inside process information of a computer, that is basically performed by the software or the CPU. The product output, communicate information to outside world through output devices like monitor or printer. Suppose you are printing a particular document, then the output, who is giving the output? It is the printer that gives the output. So that's a output product. Printer is an output device or monitor. See, whatever given we have already inputted, that it is now it is seen by the computer mobile screen. That is here it is computer screen. So this is the output devices. We see our efforts. Next, store information. Information can be stored in devices like hard disk. Hard disk means you can see the big disk, something like that. You will see hard disk, big disk, right? Around this size or more than that. They can store huge amount of data, that is in, for example, you can say 100 GB, 200 GB, like that. Hard disk. floppy disk, CD. Earlier there was CD, all these things. So these are various storage devices. These four basic functions are responsible for everything that a computer do, especially store information, produce output, processing, and input devices. This is the basic functions. Computer hardware into two categories: processing hardware and the peripheral devices. Processing hardware consists of central processing unit CPU. As its name, it is the data processing done in CPU. I have already said, remember CPU calls the data processing. Data processing means the information is saved. It executes the functions. Central as its name, it implies that data processing. What exactly you have asked? Okay, you have asked this. Then that is the responsibility of the computer to show you. Suppose you are searching a particular book. Suppose you are searching computer. Then you type by input machine COMPUTER computer hand note. Then it shows you the PDF. That is the output. That is seen in the monitor or the screen, right? And you click on the print section. Then what will you by another output device you will get the papers. That is the print section. That is also a output device. Together they make it possible to use computer for a variety of tasks. Then central processing unit. This part of computer is that executes program instructions. We have already discussed that CPU executes program instructions. Remember, it executes program instruction. Whatever program in the computer, whatever program we have inbuilt it will it will execute, right? In a microcomputer, the CPU is based on single electronic component. In microprocessor chip within system unit or system cabinet, the system unit also includes circuit boards. If you ever see by opening a computer, right, in the service centers, then you will see there are circuit boards. There are memory chips, there are ports and other components. Microcomputer system cabinet is also house disk drives, hard disk, etc. These are considered separate from CPU. Right? Cabinet means it's a huge cabinet. This is like that. This is cabinet. Inside it there is CPU. The CPU has two parts: the control unit and the arithmetic logic unit. Control unit and the arithmetic logic unit. In a microcomputer, both are single microprocessor chip. Then what is control unit? We have seen that in CPU there are two parts. One is control unit. Control unit tells the rest of the computer how to carry out program instructions. How to carry out program instructions. That is the responsibility of CPU. It directs the movement of electronic signals between memory, which temporarily holds data, instructions, and process information. Right? Movement directs the movement of electronic signals between memory and process information and the ALU. Right? So it lies between ALU and the memory. It transfers the signals from memory to ALU. Right? Memory holds data, instructions, and CPU process information. Then it can directly controls. It also directs the control signal of CPU input and output devices. Control signal between CPU and input and output devices. That means whatever the signals that comes from given by the input, accordingly it will save. CPU you will save them and process them. Then arithmetic logic unit. Arithmetic logic unit usually called as ALU. Perform two types of operation: arithmetical and logical. Arithmetic operations are the fundamental mathematical operations. For example, calculating. Mathematical operation consisting of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Then logical operation consists of comparisons. That is two pieces of data are compared to whether one is equal or less than or greater than the other. that is logical operation. Suppose you want to put a graph, you want to set up a graph, or you want to put a table, put it in a table, or you are comparing both, then we can make graph according to it. So that function will be performed by arithmetic logic unit. It is a part of CPU that performs arithmetical works and logical works. Then memory. Memory stores data. Primary memory or main memory is a part of the microcomputer that holds data and instructions. Part of the contents memory is held in temporarily. That is it is stored. Temporarily means suppose you are typing a particular message. Suppose you are typing a particular message in WhatsApp, and suddenly you have not sent it. You have just typed it, and you go back to the home page. Again, when you come to the WhatsApp, you will find that there are some uh, memories. There are those letters, those drafted letters are there, right? But if you switch off that mobile, you will not get those drafted things. So here what happened? Here we know that that is primary storage, right? It cannot remember. It only holds the memory temporarily. It do not save them permanently. Suppose I am writing here something. I have written here something. Now it's stored in primary memory. Now if I will go here and I will save as, I will click on the file and click on the save as, then it will go to the secondary memory. So now if I will switch off the system, then these things will be deleted automatically because they are not saved to secondary memory. So memories are also different types, right? Primary memory saves temporarily. It helps the content temporarily. As long as microcomputer turned on, when you turn on the machine off, the content are lost. The capacity of the memory to hold data and program instructions varies from different computers. The original IBM PC, IBM PC is the initial computer, those computers which are developed initially, could hold approximately several thousand characters of data and instruction only. But modern computers can hold millions, even billions of characters. So we'll see that modern computers are million times more powerful than the IBM PC, which can only hold data of few characters. So the capacity of modern computers is much more developed as compared to the traditional computers. Then registers. Computers also have several additional storage locations called as registers. It's one type of memory as well where we can storage location appear in the control unit and ALU, that is in the CPU. Right? There is also some memories that are in control unit and ALU and make processing more efficient. So they improve the functioning of uh, the computer more efficient. That means suppose you are giving, for example, you are saving the password for in your computer for a particular website. Then what will happen? Efficiency will increase. You don't have to again re-enter the same password, right? So there are some storage that are in control unit or ALU. Registers are sort of special high-speed storage areas that hold data and instruction temporarily during processing. Sort of high-speed storage data and hold data instruction temporarily during processing. They are part of control unit. ALU is rather than the memory. Their contents can therefore be handled much faster than the content in the memory. So here you knew two things. One is uh, registers hold data for temporary processing, right? And in ALU, contents can be handled much faster than the content in the memory. Faster access will be there. Then what are the input devices? Input devices presents data to the processing unit in a machine readable form. Machine readable form means we have to write, suppose there is various input language and you have to click a particular language and accordingly you have to write it. Although the keyboard is a common input device for a small computer, a system may also have various input devices such as optical character recognition, magnetic ink character recognition, MICA. These are scanning, one type of where OMR sheet or similar things are getting inputted. For example, a scanner, that is also input devices. Mark sense reader, that is input devices. In billing counter, you will say that they are using a scanner, that is also input devices. So we will see various input devices in detail. One is keyboard. It's very standard typewriter keyboard. And there are various keys, and there the basic QWERTY layout of characters is maintained to make it easy or trend type its use the system. QWERTY, right? QWERTY means every letter is there. Earlier there was no QWERTY keyboard. Earlier there was mobiles where in one particular switch there will be three letters, right? If you type the, if you click the letter one, then there will be the first letter. For example, in the first letter there will be ABC. If you click the letter only once, then their input will be only A. If you click AB, then input will be 1 and 2. I mean, so you have again and again, suppose ABC, if you want to click the B button, then you have to click that ABC button twice. For C, you have to click it thrice. That's not QWERTY, right? It is easy for the trained typing system to perform certain functions such as loading a program, addition or a text, etc. These are known functions keys that vary in number from system to system. Next, optical character recognition, OCR, involves reading the text from paper and translating the images. For example, scanning. You can say scanning a particular paper, right? Optical character recognition. It will scan the text. It will scan the text and it will convert into the letters. An OCR system enables, for example, it can also scan the letters from an image format. For example, if you want to copy it in this optical character recognition, what it will do, it will scan the text, right? Presently, if you have to edit a data, you have to give it in docx format, right? Once you convert it into PDF, then you cannot edit it. You can read it easily, but you cannot edit it. Then again, you have to convert it to docx format. Then in docx, you will edit it, and you will have to again convert it into PDF. But what happens in OCR system? It will scan the letters of a particular paper, right? For example, scanner, right? Then it will receive all those data. It will directly to an electronic computer file. Magnetic ink character recognition, MICA. The characters are printed in special ink that contain particles of magnetic material. This device particularly finds application in banking industry. Since MICA system can recognize only certain character styles, the characters must be accurately formed. MICA. Then optical mark recognition, OMR sheet. We know that OMR sheet. They have different OMR sheet, optical mark recognition. Also called mark sense reader, the technology where OMR device senses the presence or absence of a mark, such as pencil mark. OMR is widely used in tests such as aptitude test. In various prelims examination, you see OMR sheets. That is also a input devices. Then barcode reader. In the you will see barcode reader in shopping malls. They will read the barcode, and accordingly they will know the price of a particular food, whether it is original or not. These devices are generally available in supermarkets, bookshops. Barcode readers are photoelectric scanners that read barcodes in a vertical zebra strip marks printed on the product containers. Supermarkets use a barcode system called as universal product code. The barcode identifies the product of the supermarket's computer, which has description and latest price. The product of the computer automatically tells the point of sales POS terminal what is the price it is. They don't have to input it. Suppose you are buying a particular glass of water, then they will scan it and they will they will scan the barcode and exactly they will say this much amount of money you have to pay. So here exploitation reduces one by one, means you can say that exploitation and arbitrariness reduces by barcode reader and it is more secure. Then digitizing tablet. Here we are using tablets. For example, now I am writing on a tablet. I am writing on a tablet. This is the input device that enables you drawings and sketches into a computer. Digitizing tablet consists of electronic tablet and a cursor or a pen. A cursor is also called POG, is similar to a mouse. See now this is the cursor. It will same at same time it can act as a cursor and also as a pen. Except that it has a window with crosshairs, pinpoint placement. It can have as well as 16 buttons. Yes, there are many buttons in the digitizing tablet. There are many shortcuts as well. A pen, also called a stylus, looks like a simple ballpoint pen but uses electronic heads instead of link. For example, pencil also. There are electronic pencil. You can use electronic pencil over the tab. And also here, pencil heads are there. It is called as pen tab, and you can input the information. The tablet contains electronic field that enables the detect and movement of the cursor and person pen and translate the movements into digital signals. It sends to the computer. They are called digitizers, graphic tables, touch tables, etc. Then scanner. What is a scanner? We all know a scanner, right? You can scan any paper. You can take it to computerized form, right? CAM scanner, Adobe scanner. We all are using scanner. Scanner is input devices which can read the text illustration printed on a paper and translate the information into form of computer that can use, right? So it read the input text and transfer them to computerized form by digitizing an image, dividing into grid boxes and representing the box either by 0 or 1 depending on the box is filled with the result marked bits called as bitmap that can be stored in a file. On a screen or manipulated by programs, optical scanners do not distinguish text and illustrations. They represent all images as bitmaps. Therefore, you can directly edit text and that can be scanned. So we know scanner. It is an input devices that can read the text and convert into the computerized form, and that will give you in a computerized form. Mouse is a device that controls the movement of the cursor. Now we are using the mouse or pointer on display on screen. If a project, you can roll along a hard and flat surface. As you move the mouse, the pointer on the display screen, so also it will move accordingly. It will function where it will click it. Right. Mouse contains at least one button and sometimes as many as three. Yes, there is a left click, there is a right click, and there is a scroll button. Then light pen. Light pen is an input device that utilizes light sensitive detector to select objects on a display screen. For example, yes, now you will see there are many we are also in my smart class we are using electronic pen to write on the screen, right? Display screen, that is called as light pen. See, speech input devices. Speech or the voice input devices convert person speech into digital form. These input devices will combine with appropriate software mm, from voice recognitions, right? This system enable users to operate microcomputers using voice commands. For example, your mobile recorder or voice recorder, that is a speech input devices. You can record your voice, right? And you can store the data in a digital form. So today the important parts of computer completed. In next class we'll see some further parts, and also we'll study the evolution of computer. Like this video, encourage us to continue this program. Like this video, share this video. Thank you.